Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, the host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. And it is Thursday. That means live action television series review day. Phew, that's a long and lot of words to get through. Be that as it may, we are reviewing the Green Hornet episodes 7 and 8. I'm still pondering whether we should do 3 at a time because these two-parters go through pretty quickly because I don't stop. Be that as it may, this is the first two-parter, and it was written by Lorenzo Semple Jr., who wrote quite a few of the Batman episodes. So get a little more science fiction-y in here. I think it worked out really well. This does say George Trendle and Fran Stryker wrote it, but they did not. So, I'm trying to see, when was this? October 21st, 1966, and the second part was October 28th, 1966. Remember, math. Math is hard. I agree with Barbie 100%. So, having said all that, let's roll, Kato. All right, we start out with the Hornet and Kato already on the prowl. Actually, they're racing off to save the professor, who is in trouble. He's been Britt Reed has been contacted by her, and they're going to try to save him. He's developed a new subliminal device to help change people's minds and to help society. And he's yelling at someone we don't know, but we're going to find out soon enough who it is. I'm trying to see if he's got a credit in here, right, somewhere. Well, can't tell. Anyway, so Britt Reed's been trying to call him, and he can't get through. And then his assistant here is, after he leaves, and Professor's dead. So he wouldn't kowtow to the villains. And we're into the start of the episode. So let's just hear a little bit of the beginning.
Another challenge for the Green Hornet. His aide, Kato, and their rolling arsenal, the Black Beauty. On police records, a wanted criminal. The Green Hornet is really Britt Reed.
All right, and we already know that. So, for the first time, we don't have an opening that has the Daily Sentinel building in it. But it is called Beautiful Dreamer, and it does not make mention of the song at all because it's not really about the song at all. And let's see if I've got some notes here. Oh, all right. Scanlan's worried about all these robberies that are happening, so he's already shown up. And there's Britt's reel-to-reel recorder. You could tell he's rich because people didn't have those for years. Well, tape recorders weren't even a thing. And there's Peter Eden and his assistant Dottie. Dottie, he's a rebel and he'll never ever be any good, Dottie. Or Dorothy, I guess is her name. Played by Pamela Curran. It's Jeffrey Horn as Peter Eden. Drinking, and he's got a large supply laid in. So we have more discussion, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that haircut on Bruce, it's just weird to see him with such short hair. Gas gun, check. Hornet sting, check. And we go to the Vale of Eden for deliveries. And he just breaks in. He's a bad guy, according to everybody but the DA and Casey. They all know, and Kato, of course. So we get a little more emphasis. We got some nice brightly lit shots. Kato kicking people. He's doing what I know as a dot jong in Choi Li Fut, which is a backhand to knock somebody over. There are other names for it here, but we won't mention them. But we get to see way more of Kato in broad daylight, which helps since that black costume and even faux, day for night shooting does not they don't highlight it well enough. I think by now they probably had started getting some mail about this and thought, well, we better get Kato. We better highlight him some more, and they do later on. Off they go, and they blame the Green Hornet for this car accident, and so Britt and Casey decide to go to the Vale of Eden, and they're all happy. And guess who gets brainwashed? Ostensibly, I put that in there because of the really cool '60s computer setup there, but there's other reasons to look at this picture. One of Breed's friends who runs the racetrack is all happy. He's relaxed. I mean, it's sad that this guy could have been making, this Peter Eden could have been making lots of money, making people happy, but he's a jerk. So he shows him the tape room and then leaves him alone because Peter's no idiot. He's suspectifying somebody here, and Britt steals something. So Britt leaves, but with his friend here, what the heck is her name? Vanessa Vane. And she just goes on and takes her to some jewelry shop, and she robs it. She doesn't remember it because she's been brainwashed or had brain conditioning. So meanwhile, Casey at the same time has been given brain conditioning, and she's got a little gift there to bring to Britt, because Britt's on the trail, and Peter Eden knows it. Everybody's having coffee, even Kato. And Casey shows up and is about to shoot Britt. End of part 1. And Beautiful Dreamer part 2.
Former publisher of the Daily Sentinel. His dual identity known only to his secretary and to the district attorney.
And to Kato. They kind of give him short shrift there. So another scene in day for night shooting, but once again, they've got it pretty well lit. That's the Hornet clocking someone, and I would like to assume that Van Williams probably picked up some fighting techniques from Bruce, because if you're hanging around that much, that would be like, I want to look, I want my fight scene, I want my punches to look better. I want them to look like yours, because no one's going to look like Bruce unless, no one was Bruce. That's just all there is to it. But and he's just menacing. He just has this. He could have been so good. I mean, I would have expected him to really explore roles, because he wasn't just happy being known as a martial artist who does movies. He wanted to be an actor who does martial arts, I would think. So that's just my thoughts. But he's really good. So Hornet's in on Eden and wants to be a partner. So, and the interstitials here are now in different colors. So once again, they've evolved. Vanessa goes back, and he planned to. Oh, and he brainwashes her to blow up the Hornet with a time bomb, little bitty time bomb. And Dottie's an accessory, but we never find out what happens to her. Well, actually, we probably do because of what happens. So she meets the Hornet. They were supposed to knock off the bank, and the Hornet was going to intercept him. And apparently, Britt's not the sharpest tool in the box all the time. But so he picks her up, and she's waiting till 9 p.m., but they realize that there's a bomb, and he throws it out, and it explodes. It goes boom. And then she freaks out. And shock kind of brings him around, because when Casey tried to kill Britt, I cut out the picture of what I took of the screen grab I had of Kato manhandling Casey to get the gun out, because it looks like he just smacked her, and he doesn't. He just grabs her arm and twists it behind her so she can't shoot anyone. And but of course, Vanessa freaks out, and then it's Space Ghost. I'll just leave that there in case Lilith gets this far. Speaking of getting this far, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and do all this stuff. If you've watched this long, thank you so much. We're zipping right through this, which is why I think we could do 3 episodes at a time. And Mr. Eden is celebrating maybe a trifle too early, because the Hornet shows up. And they gas him. So, which I'm assuming that they probably gassed Vanessa to get her to stop screaming, and probably a mercy for her. So, and they just go right into it. Kato, the Hornet says it's nice music, and Kato's like, Beethoven, right? Kato's obviously very intellectual, very intelligent, very smart, and a great driver, as we'll see momentarily, because they brainwash Peter. Another interstitial. He tells them what's going to happen. They're going to knock off the racetracks. Kato smacks him once. Now this makes Kato look like such a badass because he just knocks him out. Pow! Pow! Boot, not even with a boot to the head, just one punch. Now Peter's probably a wuss, so he's the brains, but he probably is not very active. Kato's even driving with his eyes closed. Fake guards, obviously. We don't even see him, but the guy earlier has been brainwashed. Off they go with all the money in there, and the Hornet gives chase. This is a pretty exciting car chase. Unfortunately, it needed something to break it up because it goes on too long without a picture, of a shot of the Hornet and Kato, or even the bad guys doing something or talking. It's just all action, and you got to kind of break it up to give you a little breathing room. But I mean, it's a good scene. It just could have used a little more editing. But what do I know? The day for night is not very good here. Finally, the Hornet starts shooting rockets at him. And they do. There's the rockets. Kabloom! And these guys are inside. Britt doesn't care. He lets them burn, lets the money burn, because it's probably crooked anyway. And then Vanessa Vane gets to be on the cover. And it just makes me laugh because she survived a riot, was taken home by the Green Hornet, and she has a theory that the Green Hornet is actually on the side of the law, which gives Mike apoplexy. He can't believe it. See, there she is opining that the Green Hornets were secretly on the side of the law, and they all laugh. Ha 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 ha. Britt says, "Let's go have dinner or go have lunch," and Casey is telling him, "Hey, you said you're going to eat with your employees to show camaraderie." He says, "I'll eat with them tomorrow." Now, Casey is way cuter than this woman. I mean, she's an attractive woman, but she's not Casey. And Axford asks Casey if you think it could be true that the Hornet's a good guy, and Casey says, "Nope, he's a grade A stinker." And that's where we end. So next Thursday we'll probably do 2 of these episodes, or 3, pardon me, because I just did 2. And they go by in a hurry, especially these 2-parters, because I don't have to split them up. And there's a couple more, at least 2 more of them that I know of. See if I can look at all the episodes here. Let's see. We're only at 11 minutes. I'll put in the promos here. So, Beautiful Dreamer and Corpse of the Year Part 1 and 2, also 2 really good episodes. And then finally the Invasion from Outer Space. And then, of course, the 2-part crossover, which we will review because it does have the Green Hornet in it. And chances are I'm not going to ever, if I want, even as much as I'd love to review the Batman series, it's a lot of episodes. I mean, it would take forever. It would take a year to get through, or 2, maybe. And maybe in the future, when I'm old and gray, if I get gray, we'll do that. So, my fellow agents, this has been our Green Hornet episodes for the day. I hope you've enjoyed it. And let's roll, Kato.
Kato strikes with the deadly art of Kung Fu. The Black Beauty travels into the tunnel of death. And Britt Reed is delivered into the hands of the enemy by the Green Hornet. For these and other action-packed scenes, tune in on the Green Hornet. Each week, Ride with Kato and the Green Hornet on their relentless fight against crime. Black Beauty withstands a hail of bullets and spits back. A laser beam becomes a killer's weapon. The Green Hornet duels with death from the sky. For these and other action-packed scenes, tune in to the Green Hornet.
7:30 will start Friday's buzzing with the Green Hornets. That legendary nemesis of crime with his loyal companion Kato thrilled most of us as kids in one of radio's longest runs.
Let's push this aside, Kato, and go through. I'm with you, boss.
Friday, a night to remember. The Green Hornet.
Stick to the back streets, Kato.
Check. The Time Tunnel. The Milton Berle Show. O'clock high. Friday, one of 7 nights to remember. A season you won't forget. All in color. On ABC.